Mattie McGrath.
As Councillor, I am happy to speak on this important motion tonight and compliment authors of it. It is appalling to note that the motion does, that there were 3,568 children awaiting a first assessment of needs nationally at the end of March, and that there were over 850 children with special educational needs receiving home tuition while awaiting school placement in 2017-2018. It's appalling, and Tara Immerhead, the Minister, is gone now. Last year, I and my colleagues in the Rural Independent Group highlighted these and similar matters during our motion and debate on that issue. I also sought to highlight some of the broader challenges in terms of the provision of SNAs. The lack of job security, as well as the exhaustive application process, are still among some of the obstacles preventing the full participation of special needs assistance in schools. In fact, SNAs are still being treated by the department as optional extras, instead of being seen as vital members of school teaching staff. And indeed, Minister, as I said, is gone, but yourself is now Minister for Defence, so we know the way you look after your personnel, so we have much hope in that area. For all of the rhetoric around this government's commitment to increasing the amount of SNAs, it has done practically nothing with respect to facilitating the SNA as a permanent member of staff, which they should be, an integral part of the school. It is because of this that schools, and in particular principals and board of managers, are telling us that they have to spend a significant amount of time making applications each year for SNA support for the schools. And indeed, the primary principals are struggling with the workload that they have to do, and when they're not working principals. This is why I again call on the Minister and the Government to provide job security to SNAs by providing permanent employment contracts. I'm also calling on them to review the SNA supplementary assignment panel arrangements, as substitute work should be taken into consideration to enable all SNAs to gain entry onto the panel. At present, we have an absurd situation whereby the SNA's service is in substitute capacity, i.e. covering for maternity leave, sick leave, career breaks, job sharing, etc., does not count toward obtaining the required one-year service that allows SNA to become a member of the supplementary panel. I think that is shameful and, quite frankly, downright wrong and blackguarding of the people. That must change, Minister. At present, parents are operating in a vacuum with regards to obtaining certainty around the assignment of SNA for their child. That kind of stress is totally unacceptable, Minister, totally unacceptable. The children with special needs need these supports, and the SNAs must be supported. I hope that the Minister will seriously take on board these suggestions and will move to adopt policies to address the deficits that have been identified in the SNA system. And there are many, Minister. They must be coming to your clinics as well as they're coming to ours. And I would hope that you would, as I said, listen. But when you won't listen to the Army or the Army wives or the Navy, I mean, you tell us stories about ships gone into dry dock instead of telling us the real truth of what's going on. I don't expect a whole lot here. Go to Mahgood, that's Councillor.